Hi, this is Brandon with Precision Defensive Solutions, and we're going to talk about why we don't go out and choose the very smallest, tiniest little gun that we can possibly choose for concealed carry. Stay tuned. So let's talk about this. We see this so much in class anymore. People go out and they'll buy the smallest gun that they possibly can find for concealed carry or even home defense. And I really, all it does is tell me that people got online and they started reading reviews and how great this gun was and blah, blah, blah. Folks, let me be very clear about this. There are a lot of gun reviews that are bought and paid for. What do I mean by that? They pay influencers on YouTube and you know, journalists and all to write a positive review on their product. And so that gets published and it gets out there and people see it and they go, oh, well, so-and-so said this is a great gun, and I saw multiple, you know, things. Oh, this is easy, this is that, this is blah, blah, blah. Well, number one, here's part of the problem. They want something small for concealed carry, and this is literally the smallest gun I own. This was probably at least one of my great-grandparents' pistols. If you find one of these anymore, I'd be surprised. I haven't seen one in the gun counters in a long time. They're not practical. They're not practical, but there was a time that people carried these. The reality of it is, if you can't get your hand on the gun, it's very difficult to shoot. And I can't even get my ring finger on this gun. Now, it's a little 25. I've never shot it. The likelihood is I never will shoot it. It's very difficult to control a gun, I don't care what caliber it is, with only a couple of fingers. If we go up into something a little bit larger and we look at the P365 XL, so a lot of people have chosen this gun as a concealed carry gun. Why? Because one, in the standard grip, you can get 12 rounds in the magazine, okay? 13 in with one in the chamber. And if you go with the extended mag, you get a pretty good length on that grip. I mean, it is even more than my VP9. So it gives you a lot of purchase on the gun. The trigger is good, it's optics ready. You know, it's ready to go right out of the box. The problem is, the smaller the gun, the snappier it is. Now, one of the things I really like about the P365 is that it is thin. So it conceals well as far as width. The grip is really where the concealment factor becomes an issue, especially if you're carrying inside the waistband. So if this grip is almost as long as my VP9, the only benefit I'm getting is that it's thinner. Well, that can be a benefit and that can be a hindrance too. Because if it's thinner, even with my small little hands, I have a very difficult time having it fill my hand. And I want a gun that's going to fill my hand so that I can get all the meat on that gun as I possibly can. That's one of the reasons that if I do carry this gun, why I use the 15 round magazine, okay? Because then I can get more purchase on the gun. But the reality of it is, small, light, easy to carry, easy to conceal, that's very attractive to the average person when they see it. Now, the 365 is a very, very reliable gun. Okay, it really is. But they're small, they're light, which means more felt recoil, okay? And all you people that sit there and go, oh, well, 9mm doesn't have much recoil. No, it doesn't. But you have to understand that you are not everybody, and everybody perceives recoil differently. Smaller gun, lighter, more recoil, it's just physics, okay? There's not much you can do about it. Some people like to have more purchase on the gun, they wanted to fill their hand better. So one of the guns that we highly recommend for concealed carry is the VP9 SK. Now, if I go flush fit with this, I get 10 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. We typically don't, because Steph actually carries this gun, and she carries it with the extended magazine. So she carries with the 13 round magazine, 1 in the chamber, so she's got 14 plus 1. She can get her whole hand on the gun, pinky finger on the gun, and it really gives a really nice feel to it. Of course, the VP9 has a great trigger in it. The VP9 SK is coming optics ready now, so you can get optics ready VP9 SKs. Why not? So if we're looking at size comparison between that and the 365, we're talking about the same length, okay? Same length with very, very little difference, okay? If we look at standard capacity length, okay, if I've got the magazine in the VP9, we're talking about just a hair difference in length, okay? There's this a little bit of difference, okay? Because the VP9 is still a double stack, where the P365 is more of a stack and a half. Is the VP9 a little heavier? Sure, it's a little heavier, but it controls the recoil very, very well. So that's something I would highly recommend that you consider, is making sure that you can get your whole hand, pinky fingers and all, on that gun and be able to control it. The other thing that I want to be very clear about is the guns that I'm talking about, except for that first little 25, is a case that they have really good sights on them right out of the box. And that's the other factor, is you've got to have good sights to be able to shoot well. If you're a dot shooter, making sure that the gun is optics ready, or you're going to end up having to send it out to get it milled, I think optics ready really is the way to go anymore. It's a good solid platform, and it's going to save you quite a bit of money. Why not, if I'm going to carry a VP9 SK and it's that long, why not just go ahead and carry my full-size VP9? Well, that's why I don't carry an SK. I prefer to have a little bit of a longer barrel, okay, because that's not a concealment factor. And the grip length, in all honesty, they're pretty much the same. So if they're pretty much the same, okay, with that extended magazine, I personally am going to carry the longer barrel. Okay, so that's why I carry a full-size VP9. Concealment factor with the full-size versus that, it really isn't an issue. It's about the same. Okay, so it's really about using the concealment techniques that we know about, thanks to great research from people like John and Sarah Hopman at Filster Holsters. They have done a wonderful job on talking about concealment and how to get the best out of your concealment. I highly recommend you go check those videos out and check Filster out. Having that ability, you know, to be able to get your full grip on the gun, hold the gun, and be able to control the gun is a big deal. So the other factor that I really want you to think about, because I get people all the time that say, well, nope, I'm gonna go with a revolver. I'm gonna go with a revolver. I can't pull the slide back. You know, I can't handle the controls on a semi-automatic pistol, and I really don't need any more capacity than what the revolver has. And plus, they're super reliable. They never, ever fail.
What?
Stop right there. Number one, revolvers do fail. And when they fail catastrophically. Okay, like send it back to the manufacturer to get it repaired, catastrophic. Okay, number two, we don't know how much we're going to need on the worst day of our life. So capacity is a thing, and we have to consider that. Number three, revolvers are not that easy to shoot. They typically have a double action trigger that is about 12 pounds, and that is going to affect your accuracy. Okay, now if it's a hammered fired revolver and you've got a single action option, those triggers are super short and super sweet and super smooth. Okay, but a double action trigger on a revolver is very, very heavy, and it does affect accuracy. Okay, and they take a lot of practice to be able to shoot well. So stop going with the miss and stop thinking about just what is being said in these articles, when the reality is you really don't know who's writing those articles or why they're writing their opinion. Get out to a reputable trainer that can help you find a gun that will fit your hand properly. Okay, you can go to the gun shops, but honestly, you're not going to get the same opinion. Good trainers see a lot of different people, different hand sizes, different needs, and can bring that experience to you. We personally, as a company, we are big HK fans for multiple reasons. One, the reliability. Two, the quality of the product is outstanding. Are they more expensive? Sure, but they are well worth every dime, in our opinion. Here's another factor. The fact that you can change the side panels and the back strap of the VP9 and the P30 so that you can custom fit it to your hand, and you can intermix the sizes. So if you need a little less on the right side and you need a little bit more on the left, you can go, a large or a medium on the left and a small or a medium on the right, or you can go all small or all medium or all large, or however you need to make it work for your hand. That is a great thing about the HKs. Plus you're getting a very good trigger out of the box, and they work well. So don't select a pistol based solely on price. We see this a lot too. And budget is a thing, and yes, they are expensive. I get it. I totally get it. But if you are choosing a firearm for the protection of your life and the lives of your loved ones, how much is that worth to you? I mean, really, how much is it worth to you? Save up some money and get something good. Or if you want to get something better, but can't afford it and won't be able to afford it in the near future, see if you can find it used. Because I can almost guarantee that you're going to find a good used gun where somebody bought it, didn't really like it, and decided to sell it. And you're probably going to be able to pick it up at least probably 50% of what the new price is. That's not a bad way to go either. Let's be more selective about how we choose our guns. Okay, let's look at what we're going to use it for. Let's look at the price. Let's look at the recoil. Let's look at the ammunition. Okay, the other thing is we don't stock 380 pistols at all. We do not use them in our class. We've seen more failures with 380 pistols than any other one, and they don't generate a lot of pressure, so sometimes the guns don't cycle well. A lot of times 380s come in smaller packages, which means they're harder to hold on to, which means if they're harder to hold on to, the gun's not going to cycle properly. So plus the cost of 380 is so much more than 9mm. I highly recommend that you go ahead and get a 9. If you're looking at a 380, go ahead and step up into a 9mm. The recoil difference is very, very little, and it's well worth the effort to work your technique and improve your skill. That's my little soapbox run for today. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon.